So here's the thing, right? I've been a fan of the NBA for quite some time, all right? Quite some time. And this year, ever since it came back or whatever, because I don't know what the hell's going on, I have not watched one game. And the reason why I have not watched one game of the NBA is because there's more important things in the world than a goddamn basketball game. Social injustices, white supremacy, systemic oppression, right? The continuous mistreatment of black society that has been happening over and over and over again for the last 500 years. And, you know, it's reached a tipping point because obviously this year, 2020, is, we're in August, about to be September. This has been an unprecedented year. Pandemic, right? Civil unrest. This year is basically the 1960s all over again. 1960s had civil unrest, which, you know, constructed so many documents like the National Advisory Commission on Civil Disorders, aka the Kerner Commission Report, to find out why communities plagued with black people were having civil unrest, right? And of course, in that document, I'll talk about that document all the time. The reason why they decided to do that document, right, because of black people having civil unrest and lack of jobs, lack of resources, single parent household, right? And the conclusion was, we live in two societies, one black, one white, separate and unequal. The same thing is happening today. History always repeats itself. There's nothing new under the sun. Because you done something or said something or seen something doesn't mean it's been done the first time. It's been done before. It may not have been done on the grand scheme of things or grand scale, but it's been done before. And so, which leads me, of course, like I said, with the NBA, you know, they had the playoffs happening, and I didn't know the playoffs was happening. So apparently the playoffs was happening, and the Milwaukee Bucks decides to boycott their game. Not only the game, but the remaining playoffs. So the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, they're in Wisconsin, and they're in the same state as Jacob Blake, who was damn near executed. As far as I know, Jacob Blake is still with us. He's not passed. But the race soldier who tried to execute Jacob Blake, basically, you know, has been paid vacation, if you will, like they normally do. And the NBA is showing solidarity by boycotting the remaining NBA playoffs to signal the solidarity and the support of Jacob Blake, and calling for a call to action to hold the race soldiers, of course, accountable, asking for justice, to obviously, you know, hold the race soldiers accountable, ask for justice, and the show support of Jacob Blake, George Floyd, etc., etc., etc. The folks who have been completely annihilated and executed by the hands of race soldiers and quote unquote police brutality in the wilderness of North America, right? And so I'm going to read part of the article. It says that quote, the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association announced that in light of the Milwaukee Bucks' decision not to take the floor today for Game 5 against the Orlando Magic, today's 3 games, Bucks versus Magic, Houston Rockets versus Oklahoma City Thunder, and Los Angeles Lakers Portland Trailblazers, have been postponed. The NBA said in a statement, Game 5 of each series will be rescheduled. The Bucks game against the Orlando Magic was scheduled to begin at 4 p.m. at Disney World in Orlando. The Bucks did not emerge from their locker room before the scheduled tip. The game broadcast on NBA TV reported the players sat out in protest. Several NBA players were asked about the possible boycott over the last 24 hours. Many said it was being discussed. Strikes are banned under the NBA's collective bargaining agreement, which means the Bucks players broke their own contract in order to protest racial injustice and police violence. Interesting. In a statement issued on Wednesday afternoon, the Bucks players said they are calling for justice for Jacob Blake and demand the officers to be held accountable. The past 4 months have shed a light on the ongoing racial injustices facing our African American communities. Citizens around the country have used their voices and platforms to speak out against these wrongdoings, they said in the statement. Despite the overwhelming plea of change, there has been no action. Despite the overwhelming plea of change, there has been no action and a call for social justice. All right, so the players, are waking up. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Here's the thing about, of course, we know the NBA is mostly black. And the players, right? The players have as much, if not more, power than the owners. And I've been saying this, The players have as much power, if not more power, than the owners. The league is not nothing without the players. Right? Your most coveted athlete in the NBA is LeBron James. Makes damn near as much money. Probably, I would say damn near as much money as your average NBA owner. Damn sure he's up there with Michael Jordan. Right? So, if people like that, people like LeBron James can sit out and hit the NBA's pockets by showing solidarity and support for Jacob Blake and social injustices for black society, by saying we're going to sit out these games until we see change, right? With law enforcement, the way law enforcement interacts with black people, and we've been talking about this for years. The government was talking about, we need to have training, what do they call it, de-escalation training with law enforcement officers. Has that worked? Not at all. These race soldiers, they shoot first and ask questions later. They've been doing the same goddamn thing since the Judiciary Act of 1789, the inception of law enforcement. Same goddamn thing. Capture and or kill slaves. So it's nothing new under the sun. So, like I said, this is a really good thing. I really hope they just continue this, not only throughout the playoffs, but the rest of the remaining season and next season, until we see some kind of change, tangible change, with law enforcement and the treatment of black society in the form of tangible things like reparations. Laws that protect us as a group, right? Like the Native American community, like the Asian community, like the Jewish community. Laws that protect us. Until we see some tangible change, let the NBA sit out. Let these owners worry about whatever portfolio they have money on, right? Because of course these guys have multiple streams of income. NBA is just one of them, so they're not going to be making no more money off of us. Let them worry about their other business ventures that they got money off of, right? So I'll definitely agree and support this boycott of the NBA. I hope it continues to happen throughout the season and until the next season, until we see some actual tangible change within the so-called government and law enforcement for black society, right? So yeah, man, this is great. This is a good thing. I support this. Let me know your comments down below, family. Till next time, signing out. Peace.